guys. Hope all is well and everybody had a great Mother's Day. Just I know it was a little unorthodox. We all had to do it via Zoom or distancing. The times are different norms. This is the new normal, as everybody's referring to that. In any case, coming up with some great subjects. Just wanted to be helpful. Today's subject is about presentation is everything. Presentation is everything. It's about our language. It's about the importance of good content, delivery. So I'll get right into it. The importance of language is content. We're seeing so many things nowadays, like, different trends going on with regard to, like, what is this vernacular where they're singing our sentences? The Valley Girl tune to everything. And the content, we're actually risking the delivery part of your statement. The purpose of communicating is to get a point across, and so the speed, people are speaking in warp speed. So just the point is, and the focus today is on content. Just remember that. You want to just give some thought to gauging your speed and not overdo fillers. Well, I'll give you some examples here in just a few minutes. But again, it's just focusing on content. What's this thing about redundant words that we have now and speaking at like warp speed where you can't be interpreted well, or now more than anything or ever in the past, we're actually not getting our points across. That's the point. And we think it's the way that everyone is wanting to sit and listen to you speak. But in essence, what's happening is you're losing us. And then we have to ask, especially if it's important business detail, or where we're engaged in what you're saying, we have to ask you to repeat that because there's just too much going on. It's the conversation's just way too busy. And it's happening now, more now, kind of like in this trending environment that we live in than ever in the past. We are gonna just talk about that. I'll give you a few examples. So how does the definitive question today is, how does captivating delivery sound? How does that sound? It sounds very paced, and it sounds very focused on content, and it stresses words, and it's asking really quantifiable questions, things that leave you to consider a few things, pausing. It's raising some awareness on some level, giving some examples. All of these are part of your delivery and the sound of delivery. People buy into your confidence when you take the time to articulate and speak. Let your vernacular deliver some area of power to command their attention, hold people's attention. That's a very critical piece nowadays. The reason why people's attention spans are so short because they're not challenged. They're not challenged for good listening, like we used to be asked to pay attention and focus. So there you have it on that. But if you consider, there are lots of us that are sounding like we're stuck in an adolescent time warp, time capsule. Now, and that's just in the sound of some area of maturity. Let me give you an example. Like the little girl voice. Like, there was a time when I was doing some business development calls, and adults are picking up the phone sounding like they're 13-year-olds. Oh my God, who is this? That sort of example. And versus like we used to deliver where the sound of our discussions, we were proud to be able to develop these effective communicating skills. And now we just toss that so carelessly into the wind. And no wonder people get frustrated and run out of patience, is because we're wearing out their listening ability. And we're just stuck in this time capsule of just like some area of sort of like our growth stopped, the adolescent communicating sound. I don't know how best to describe it, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And it's like, oh my God, is it time to go to recess now? Oh God, and OMG, dude, and totally, dude. And it's just like, okay, so life is about enjoying and having some fun. But at some point throughout the communication process, you have to switch gears if you really value the process of good communicating. So let's just be mindful of our maturity and our confidence in our delivery. FYI, what's needed is to have your point well received. The sound is an art form. It's something you have to work on. And it requires, I have to work on this all the time doing this piece here. It requires a little bit work and a little bit of effort to master that. You really have to have a passion and want to go after being good in your delivery if you want to keep people interested in what you're saying, especially since social media is such a huge platform now. So I'm learning that as we speak. I'm not being critical of anyone. I'm just sharing what I'm learning too. My pace is very important, and I'm working on mastering a delivery that's without hitch. Seamless is the key piece, okay? So it takes a little effort, little work, but it's worth it. That way you get back into discussions that hold content. Back to content from the start, right? How about some of these fillers, right? These unnecessary fillers that we're hearing. Let me give you a few funny examples. Because, that we use in our language today. Like, oh my God, OMG. I'm in earshot of so much of that when I'm sitting down at coffee or going out to the grocery store, standing behind someone in the bank. It's this total OMG you to infinity, right? Or literally, dude, I literally did this and I literally did that. I heard a very bright professor from Harvard was giving a presentation in her class, homework, and they said, can we just remove some of those literally things from our delivery? Because she said, this is her word, she said, literally is a filler that says that there's literacy missing. And it's like you're fighting for content. And just pause. That was her. Pause, get your thoughts together. Forget about all the fillers. That's where you lose people. And just get away from overusing words. Like, this is where we're worrying on each other's listening ability. Literally, just literally to death, okay? But it's just like, we can just pause, think about what we're going to say. Or, this other example that I hear, especially in my community, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, dude? You know what I'm saying? No, you haven't said nothing yet. Say something with some content so that we can follow and stay engaged in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, please. Now, see, that's why we can't get into conversations and get the respect or consideration that we can sit down and engage, in a universal crowd. It's because it's all, you know what I'm saying, and it's just like it's wearing on our listening ability, or the patience for listening is the better way to say it. But I am just sharing these things as an example. Or like if you're down in the beach community, totally dude. Or some of these young cats feel the comfort to refer to me, like some of the millennial crowd will come to me and say, hey bro. And I'm like, dude, do you see these gray hairs right here? Have I at least earned the respect of sir? Or something that is like a little more respectful when you're how you see me is conveyed through basically how you address me, right? Hey, bro, I don't want to tell you again, bro. Or totally, dude, can you just, or boss, this word they use, what can I get you, boss? I mean, guys, come on. There's the sound of respect is conveyed through how we address one another. It's the most important thing. Nobody's going to say that every day. But just consider that. That's a very priceless thing you can keep in the back of your mind. But this is a test for some success, to get normality back. In order to get normality back in balance, you need to have good leadership. Lead by example. So be a student of lead by example. This is the takeaway. Just don't be afraid of, you don't have to buy into the trends necessarily, things people are talking about. You can command respect through good, clean presentation. That way you don't risk being misinterpreted, having to repeat yourself over and over and over again, and just get into the conversation for purpose, okay? And then that way, if you're mindful of a few of those game rules, those strategic ways of discussion, it'll be a lot more enjoyable when you sit down to talk with people, or when you're engaging through Zoom. Any ways that we communicate, it's effective communicating these days. That's what it's all about. We've gotten so far away from that, and you have a better chance at having someone pay attention to you. You're not wearing out their listening skills, what you're saying. So just slow it down. It's okay. There's no rush. We ain't got nothing but time right now. You take it back 1,000 to a reasonable rate of speed and delivery for your content. That's the key. That's where we started today. The takeaway is for clarity and to avoid misunderstandings, most of all, most importantly. Understand the statistics are way up on being misunderstood or points being missed. And that happens so much in our frontline business communications with customer service. Consider this is because you don't want to be, you want to be well received. After all, that's the purpose and the point. And if you get into a conversation, what you're wanting to really, share with someone, is the word I'm looking for there, is to just slow it down and ask questions or leave room for someone to jump in. Don't be so quick to response, because you're losing people out there. Hello, it's about effective communicating, not defective communicating. All right. So that's the takeaway, guys. Just make a mental note to self. Note to self when sitting down for coffee or family or friends or wherever you choose to sit down and enjoy conversation, chat. Pay attention to your rate of speed of delivery and to pace yourself so you don't lose people. That's the most important part. Okay? You don't want to lose their attention spans. The attention span's already challenged and short, and to be asked for clarification over and over and over again. It's called working smarter, not harder. Okay? So try it if you feel so inclined and brave, and just let me know how it works out. I hope this has been helpful. Hope everyone had a great Mother's Day. And I will hope to see you again. I'll have better and more subject matter coming at you. These are things I observe and I just want to share while we got time. I'm working on these things too, so it's all about embetterment together, okay? So, God bless you. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in again. I'll just keep the good segments coming at you, and maybe it's something for you to sit down and talk about with friends. Just be conscious of our speed together. There's no harm in that. Have a good day, okay?